Yo, where's Matt? You hear anything from him, bro?
Man, I haven't heard anything from that dude since like the third. I'm not tripping. We said 5 p.m. EST, right?
Yeah, I can't even call him. I guess the cell reception's bad in Hyrule or something these days. Hope he logs on soon. I got things I'm trying to do after this.
Forget that noise. Let's just start without him. Yo, Embassy, spin it.
I have a
Tablet,
pen. I have a
Joy-Con,
Apple,
Nintendo Switch.
Apple pen, pineapple pen.
Hadouken!
Pika, Pika, Pikachu.
Hey, welcome to Hello Nintendo, the official podcast of r/Nintendo. I'm your host, Amogh, aka Cast Starman, and with me today are Harrison, aka Frobro, Brooks, aka Mario Master 2015, and Alexander, aka the Scottish Lion. Hello and welcome, everyone. So, we've all been on the podcast before, so let's skip the new host questions. What have you guys all been playing this week? Alec, what have you been playing?
I've been playing what a lot of other people have been playing, which is Breath of the Wild for the Nintendo Switch. I've been having a lot of fun with it. One of the most rewarding things, I think, is the combat in this game, and that's something I haven't seen a lot of people talk about yet. I've been trying to kind of take a Metal Gear approach to it and set up traps and attack the Bokoblins using different methods, and most of the time I'm too weak to attack them. I don't have a lot of heart yet, it's only 4 hearts. But yeah, I've just been having a lot of fun doing that aspect of the game, and I haven't seen that talked about a lot yet.
What sort of combat style have you found to be most effective then, since you've been experimenting with different types? Like to take out like the Bokoblins and stuff like that.
So I've been using the bombs. I've been throwing those in, and actually, if you can get it at the right angle, it'll roll into the camp, and the Bokoblins will be distracted by it, and they'll go look at it, and then you blow it up, and then you immediately throw another one. Well, they never realize you're there, so you weaken them by using the bombs, and then I usually throw in a fire arrow or 2, and then I kind of jump from above with some sort of sword or something and start attacking them.
Oh, okay. That sounds vaguely similar to what the colonists did to the British back in the day.
You are without doubt the worst pirate I've ever heard of.
But you have heard of me.
Something that I've been playing this week. I've been playing a few different games, both Super Smash Bros. 4, and Melee actually. And in both games, I main Marth, and so going between the games, like when I play semi-competitively, can get kind of difficult because it's pretty different. The only things that really carry over between the two are basically the basics and your like brain and and the way you think. Because in Melee, I have to think about wave dashing and dash dancing, and I don't have like the input buffer to help me out there. While in Smash 4, I have to worry more about being in the air and options I have in the air as well. Alright, Fro, what about you?
Actually, I haven't been playing that many video games this week. I don't know, just been busy. Haven't really had time. The only game I've been playing this week is Fire Emblem Heroes. And it's our next topic, so why don't we just go into that?
Alright, sounds good. Okay, so for people who don't know, recently Fire Emblem Heroes had its first major update, and it introduced some major changes, at least I think. There used to be like a community-run tier list of characters, and due to one of the features, the new inherited skills feature, the tier list is kind of bunk now. There's really no point. What do you guys think about this new inherited skills feature of the game?
It's cash. They definitely added to the longevity and replayability of the game with a simple feature. And it's been in the thing since day one, with the 10th Stratum having abilities you can't have. Not what I expected, but I mean, it didn't catch me off guard.
I'm definitely liking it. I mean, my Hector now has Bowbreaker, and so whenever I face a Takumi in the arena, it's dead immediately. I mean,
Oh man, Takumi.
Yo, I bet it is. I bet it is.
yeah, I mean, my Hector takes maybe 13 damage from a level 40 Takumi. It's insane.
Did anybody play? Did you guys play Fire Emblem? What's that one called? I think it's just Fire Emblem 7. Y'all play that one?
7. No, the earliest Fire Emblem game I played was Fire Emblem 8 Sacred Stones, which is why I was so excited to pull Erica and Ephraim one after another in like both the 5-star focuses back in the one of the packs a few weeks ago.
See, because I don't know why they made Hector. Hector has no business being distant counter. Like, I played that game. I don't know why he has distant counter. It makes sense for Ryoma. It doesn't make sense for Hector.
Because he's just that good.
Hector's Hector.
But
Well, in Fire Emblem 7, Hector can wield the hand axe. So, I mean, if you...
yeah, but the hand axe isn't his weapon. It's the Armads.
That's true. And isn't that only 1 unit of space that where you can attack?
Yeah, it is. But I suppose Lyn also got messed up because the Soul Cat is supposed to be a dragon killer and it's not. Instead, they gave it Desperation 2 because I don't know why they did that. She's kind of bad actually. Well, she's not bad, but lackluster. And skill inheritance. The problem with Lyn and Carol by extension is that even with skill inheritance, there aren't skills in the game that really mesh well with their existing kit. So like, I thought they were going to be crazy good before the patch actually dropped, but now that I have access to all these crazy skill combinations, I can't even use them because Lyn's kit doesn't mesh with anything else in the game.
Going from some of the other Fire Emblem games, have they, because I've only played Awakening, have they changed a lot of what the characters have done? And it sounds like the inherent skills thing kind of fixes this so you can revert the characters back to the way that you used them in the older Fire Emblem games.
Okay. Let me run down for you and other people who are unfamiliar. The way it works is every character has skills, obviously. What the inherent skills lets you do is lets you trash one unit and then pass 3 of its skills to another unit. The problem with that is it can seem a bit unbalanced with some of the things you can do in this game now that you can make anything happen. For example, Hector's got distant counter, lets him throw an axe at mages and archers who can't take a hit like that. But you can take it one step further and you can give him you can give him Vantage, for example. What Vantage does is if you're at 75% or lower HP, you get to attack first on counterattack. So what would happen is if, say, I were fighting a Hector and I attacked it first, knocked it below that 75% HP threshold, the next unit, if I took, say, Lyn to walk up there and like finish him off, Hector would hit me first and probably kill me because Lyn doesn't have the defenses to take a hit like that, even though she resists axes. Which is why people were kind of crying foul when it came out. As far as if you can make a unit function the way they did in their game, not really, because misses and critical hits don't exist in this game. So a character like Lyn's got no shot, and they made do with some characters where like they gave Lucina, the Falcon still has a Dragon Slayer effect, and it also has Renewal 1, so it really should have been higher than that, but I suppose that's what they chose. And they gave her Defiant Speed. I don't know why they did that. They could have just gave her a high speed stat, or you could have just gave her speed +3, but whatever.
Yeah, I think what the developers might have been thinking with in terms of skills with Fire Emblem Heroes and like special abilities and things like that is they wanted to put in some of the really well-known abilities like Soul and Astra and things like that, and then they have a bunch of generic sort of skills that could be applied in a wide like range of uses, and for some characters that's fine and it works out great, but for other characters, like when you're using a Lord that has a decently well-known skill or trait, it might seem like they're just trying to throw in, say, a square peg into a circle hole.
Yeah, like especially on our Fire Emblem Heroes subreddit, you can see people. Someone wasted his Takumi, who has a move called, well, close combat. Archers in this game don't have a range of 1; they can't hit up close, and neither can mages. But you can take that skill off Takumi and give it to someone else, and he gave it to a Kagero, who has no business using a skill like that, because she doesn't have the defenses to even survive a hit, let alone counter hit at close range. I feel for that dude.
Yeah, a lot of people who play Fire Emblem Heroes are gonna have quite a big wake up call when they realize that the skills that the Nintendo put on each character are there for a reason and for balance purposes.
Okay, I wouldn't say that. There are some characters who have the most jank kit. Not even a reason. Like some of these moves, okay, who is it? There's someone who's got threatened speed and seal speed, and they don't stack. Why would they do that? I mean, they literally don't stack. I don't know why they would do that.
Do they really not?
The only way you can get a buff to stack is if it happens invisibly, and the only buffs that do that are like spur speed, the kind of stuff that works whenever you do it during battle. So like Erica's rally, what does she have? She has rally speed, right?
Erica?
Yeah.
No, she has pivot.
What? Oh yeah, it's on her weapon, duh. Well then who's got rally speed? Like, bro, I can't think anyone's got rally speed right now.
Shrina.
I think Matthew does too, yeah. If you, let's say you use Matthew's rally speed on like Lynn, and then she goes +4 speed, you can't use someone else's rally speed or hone speed. Like you can't even, if someone has hone speed, where if you start beside someone you get that buff, you can't even rally that person. The only way you can up their speed more than that is if you use a spur skill, which only works if you get in battle beside a unit, which is pretty bad.
Huh. You know, actually thinking about it, Ephraim has the threatened defense, and what was the other skill that during battle?
Yeah, he's one of them. He's one of them who's got a bad kit like that, where he can't stack his 2 debuffs.
I guess the only thing that I can think of is that if Ephraim spies some enemies and along with other allies, and he uses, and like at the beginning of the turn, threatened defense activates. So okay, everyone around is now threatened, and now they'll have lowered defenses. Then there's an enemy outside of that 2 block range, a little farther away, that only Ephraim can reach. I guess that that second skill would be more of use then.
I mean, I guess, but that's pushing it. I feel like that's pushing it.
I actually thought that they all stacked, but I never really looked into the stats all that much while playing. I was just happy that I could have both my 2 favorite lords in like my team. I was ready to drop quite a bit of money to get both of those heroes.
Really? Please tell me you weren't gonna wail. You were gonna have a bad time. I've seen some pretty awful luck in this game.
I have had terrible luck since then. I actually pulled a second Ephraim, but ever since then I have not been pulling anything but 3 stars and maybe the odd 4-star. And the only axe user.
Well, now you're not screwed because you can skill inherit now.
That's true, but I need I need like greens, and the only green character that I've been able to pull for some reason is Gunter, and like. I have 4 different Gunters now. Well,
they gave you a free Robin. They gave you that free Robin.
That was blue.
No, the girl Robin is green.
Is it really?
She has she has an anti-cavalry book.
I'm gonna check that right now. If so,
well,
that's.
If you didn't do it, if it was from the Grand Battle, from a little while back.
I didn't do that. I couldn't.
Well, then you should at least have Celica. She's got the colorless book. Makes her effective on colorless units like Takumi, or healers, or Kagero.
Actually, how long ago was Celica?
No, she cycles in every day, or once every week.
Yeah, I think she was in yesterday, I think.
I probably have Celica then. I'm not too good with names.
She's green-haired horse.
Oh, was she in which Fire Emblem was it? Was it
She's in Binding Blade.
Oh yeah, Binding Blade. Seeing as I really like Ephraim, I was actually really happy that he got 2nd place in the voting gauntlet, although I was primarily going for Erica, although she didn't do so hot.
She didn't stand a chance.
She was doing her best. Come on, let's give her that.
I took one look at this voting gauntlet the day that it started, and I saw Lucina, and I was like, Lucina's gonna win. nobody stood a chance to Lucina.
Yeah, she dominated.
Well, see, that's the problem with this popularity contest. Like, well, if you look at it, the theme was princesses and princes, and then they put Lucina in. Like, everyone else is a sibling with Erica, Ephraim, and Leo and Elise, and the OC characters, Alphonse and Sharina, and the other duo was Krama Lucina, who aren't siblings. Some people say that Lissa was supposed to be in Lucina's spot.
No,
But even if you put Lissa in that spot, the same thing happens where she's not waifu material and Erica is, so Erica just raffle stomps everyone. Maybe not as hard as Lucina did with that 10 bill beating Ephraim by 10 billion, but
yeah.
I mean it's the same thing. And then maybe we don't get the cool Crom versus Ephraim rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, it reminds me back whenever, you remember Cass, back in the early days of our Pokemon Go, when everything was like actually fun,
Yeah.
and there was a whole bunch of fan art. That was great. That was like the same heyday for Fire Emblem Heroes, where everyone's got these like cool fan art around the gauntlet. I hope it happens again, but with the people raging about how skill inheritance works, maybe not so much.
I think this skill inheritance thing will be ultimately seen as a good thing because it allows for your favorite characters who before may not have been able to like stand a chance against, say, Takumi or Ryoma, who have their crazy countering abilities and stuff like that. But now with this inherited skills feature, you can throw in whatever skills you want. You can make your favorite character however good you want it to be. So
it's even more than that, because like in Pokemon, there's personality in this game. So if you take think of it more like IVs, less like personality, where you can have a bad IV unit, and if you have bad IVs, you can't re-roll that. And the only thing you could do before was throw it away for feathers, which is a horrible idea. But now, if you've got, say, a minus attack to, well, maybe you wouldn't do that to Takumi still. Let's say you have a minus speed Lin, you can either A, fix her up and give her brash assault, which would guarantee she doubles people anyway, which is exactly what she needs. Or you can give her desperation attack and gale force to someone who could actually use it, because that unit's garbage if it's got bad speed, and you don't brash assault it anyway.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of this was a little bit ago. When I was saying they put like different abilities in for a reason, and Lynn having gale force, that's kind of funny actually. Although gale force,
Well, she had it in Awakening.
I guess that's true. I never really in Awakening I never really looked into many of the units that you could sort of download or from like past games.
They did that, and she had gale force there.
Okay, all right, then I guess that makes sense then.
Like, the way she's supposed to play is a sweep unit with that additional turn. You need to get hit, get to 50%, dance up, kill someone, and then you get the gale force turn right there, and you can like actually overwhelm a team with just Lin if the team comp is right.
Wow.
I'm actually not too familiar with how Gale Force works in Fire Emblem Heroes. Is it still if you kill the unit, you get another turn?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Okay, and there's no timer on that or anything, because I guess it's not.
Nope.
Oh yeah.
If you KO a unit, you get an additional turn.
All right, so yeah.
But you can only get one turn per turn.
Oh, okay, so that's how it's balanced out then. And if you have like Olivia or or another dancer or a singer or anything,
You can take another turn.
and
Yeah.
does that reset the Gale Force? Can you get another Gale Force then?
No, nah, you can't.
Okay, so you get a maximum of 3 then.
I think what it is you can't dance a dancer.
If you could dance a dancer, that would be overpowered.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you just can't use it on another unit with singer dance. So you could have 3 different dancers or singers and 1 Lin, and basically just swarm a team then
Yep, you can.
with 5 different attacks then.
Yes.
So dang, and seeing as Lin is a pretty speedy character, that means I kind of want Lin now.
Yeah, she practically doubles everything, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Oh man, speaking of doubling, a few weeks ago I pulled Gordon, who's an archer. I don't know what game he's from, but
He's from Fire Emblem 7 with Lin.
oh okay, and Gordon, he had, when I pulled him, he had 0 speed, and so I was like,
Yeah, he has a good weapon. He's got the
yeah,
brave bow.
I didn't realize that he had the brave bow at
No.
first, so I went straight into battle because I think at that thing I pulled like 3 archers and like a shuriken user. And so I go into battle, and then I see Gordon has 0 speed. I'm like, okay, I want to see how he'll fare against another archer, how hard he'll get doubled. And then I go in, and then for some reason it shows that Gordon is doubling another unit. So I thought, oh my god, what's going on? Is my game glitching or something? And then so I screenshot like Gordon's stat page, still not seeing the brave bow. And then I throw it in like the r/Nintendo mod chat. I'm like, yo guys, what's up with this? And then I realize immediately after that I'm dumb and that Gordon has the brave bow. But Gordon's like straight min-maxing right now. He's one of my favorites.
Let's go. Now I have you.
So this month will actually be the 9th anniversary of the subreddit. It was founded on March 26th, 2008.
Yeah, so and just huge shout out to Fart Princess for everything that she's done with the subreddit.
I just wanted to ask all of you guys, what were your experiences like when you first joined the subreddit and then later when you became a moderator? Alright, Alec, let's start with you.
My first real memory of this sub was actually April Fool's, I think 2015, when they did the Tingle theme, and I got the joke, so I appreciated the theme that was up. And then my next memory was, remember when that guy tried to map out the Mario Kart universe? That's when I really started. Yeah, that thread was awesome to me. So that's when I really started paying attention to r/Nintendo, and it was probably the one subreddit I really went to. Then I became a moderator about a year ago, actually today, and I started to run the game club. It's actually this game club is my first full cycle year of running the game club.
Nice.
Oh, congrats.
And yeah, we've had a ton of fun with it. The community is awesome. The imagination that all of you guys listening have, it's fun to see the different aspects of whether it's something in the business sense or something in the design sense that you guys get. It's the best part of a community because everybody kind of breeds off of everybody and the things that they understand and can bring to intelligent conversation about video games.
Yeah, for sure. I think the game club, especially since you started doing it, has definitely been one of the reasons to go to r/Nintendo. Besides, of course, getting like getting all your Nintendo news and stuff like that. But yeah, speaking of like that guy who was trying to map out the whole Mario universe using Mario Kart 8, I think. So I actually, after that post, I made a subreddit called r/Marioverse, and eventually a bunch of people got it. It was either a day or two after the creation of that subreddit. IGN actually made an article about the guy who was trying to map out the Mario universe and talked about how a quote-unquote a group of Redditors are working hard at r/Marioverse to do this, and I saw that article while I was in my psych class, most definitely paying attention to what was going on in class, and I started freaking out right there. Like it was a silent freak out, but like I could barely breathe. I was like, oh my god, it was insane. But then after that, I lost all motivation to work. So, yeah.
Yeah, hey, IGN should come back to r/Marioverse because there's some users there that have put in a ton of work into not only mapping out the Mario Kart universe, but like connecting the different Paper Mario games, the Mario and Luigi saga, and detailing a ton of data on the Mario universe.
What are they using to map out Mario and Luigi games? They don't take place in the Mushroom Kingdom, except that one time.
You'd be surprised at the kind of material that can be dug up on these Mario games. It's a lot of interconnected, kind of analytical look at different maps, different characters. You know, some of it is speculation, a lot of speculation, but it's a lot of just data work and map work, and it's pretty cool to
Yeah,
see.
I remember back when I was going on it more with specifically the Mario Kart 8. They used which
Super Bell subway map, I think.
and in that map there is a there's like a picture on like the wall somewhere that shows a layout of the subway system, and on that and it's really easy to miss because of how fast you're going in Mario Kart 8, unless you're on a 50cc, of course. But let's be real, who really likes playing on 50cc? And then yeah, someone noticed that small detail on like the wall just randomly throughout the game. I don't even know how they did it, because I tried going through and it was actually kind of hard. It was actually kind of hard for me to find it, and I was specifically looking for it. And like on that map, it showed the different map names for the other Mario Kart 8 courses and a general layout. And from that, people were able to go in. People were able to go in and connect the dots, and they were able to look at say other different maps and look at how they connect to other maps based on the background of the kart the map itself. Probably the same way of how they've been doing it with the Mario and Luigi games. Like, say, I'm not really too familiar with the Mario and Luigi games, but I know they reference each other quite a bit. Am I correct?
Yeah, I mean, the main villain of the third game is a lackey in the first game, and
Fawful was not a lackey, don't lie. That man was the right-handed Cackletta. Hello?
whatever. Yeah, he really didn't play that big of a role in the games.
He beat Mario and Luigi. Hello? What do you got to do to get notified? What are you saying?
Not Bowser, get out. That's basically it. What specifically did he do in the game then that like he beat Mario and Luigi, you said?
In the beginning, like early on, we had to go to the... Look, it's going to sound weird, me being a grown man explaining this story to you, but Cackletta takes Peach's voice. Bowser can't kidnap Peach because if she tries to talk, it explodes. So Bowser needs the Mario Bros to go get Cackletta to get the Peach's voice back so he can take her. But Cackletta lives in the Bean Kingdom and not the Mushroom Kingdom. So they gotta take Bowser's airship to cross the border illegally. But then the Border Patrol kind of... Look, I told you it's weird, but the Border Patrol's shooting at him in the sky, and Fawful shows up and he's talking trash about how he's the mustard of your doom, or whatever he says. And then you get into a boss battle, which is scripted for you to lose. And then you lose, and then you get shot out of the sky, and now you have to... Well, you're the Mario Brothers, so you gotta kind of jump the border.
You do the jump rope mini game with the border guards.
This is the introduction to the game, by the way.
Oh, true. Oh man,
With the jump bros, that's exactly what you do. And if you beat the jump rope mini game, they let you through. Actually, you have to fight a boss to get by. He's the dude. He has a cannon.
But that in the Star Valley or what? Stardew Valley? No.
I think that's what it's called.
Not Stardew Valley.
The Star Value. That sounds right.
Oh, but once you cross them, you're in the Bean side of the valley.
just for reference, which Mario and Luigi game are we talking about?
Superstar Saga.
Oh, okay.
Superstar Saga.
Which is Superstar Saga is the best Mario and Luigi game.
I don't know. Bowser's Inside Story is like it is a Bowser game. It's not a Mario and Luigi game. You drop kick people like it's a Bowser game. He talks trash. Mario and Luigi just around for the ride, literally.
So yeah, we've gone on quite a bit of a tangent from Nintendo's 9th anniversary.
The first time I got on our Nintendo, I don't even know how I found it, to be honest. And I don't even remember exactly how long I was on it before I was on a mod, before I was mod. I do remember that fateful Christmas, and I had been using our Nintendo for a while before that, so I actually can't say. Maybe I think I got in because I used to use GameFAQs forums a lot, and I think I jumped ship whenever the Smash 4 hype train was coming through. And I think that's how I really. I mean, I knew what Reddit was since like 2010, but I never really used it until the memes and the speculation. I got caught in the hype train like everyone else did, and I never really left.
Yeah, the hype train never. It's kind of been stagnant for a little while, considering that.
Stop talking. The hype train does not have a final destination.
Of course, there is no final destination.
And there are no stations. There's no boarding stations.
I'm still mad that there are still 3 amiibo that should be out in the Smash series that are not. However, it looks like more Smash amiibo may be coming soon, such as perhaps Ice Climbers from recent leaks. And
Bro, who's believing that? No one believes that.
I mean, it's not going to happen for the Wii U or 3DS version of Smash, but you have to remember that I think Reggie or someone might have said that they had Ice Climbers working in the Wii U.
Sakurai said that.
Yeah, Sakurai said.
He said it in the Direct.
Yeah.
He said he had it working on the Wii U, but he couldn't get it on 3DS, so he just scrapped them all together.
Yeah, so, and with the new Switch, that means if they continue on their plan of porting games from the Wii U, because not as many people would have experienced them, to the Switch, then they could easily make a Smash 4 Master Edition with all the maps from the 3DS version, all the stages from the Wii U version. They could have both Smash Run and a better version of Smash Tour, hopefully, please, and have more characters like Ice Climbers.
So you know they're not going to do that, right? you might be talking like, that's a very Capcom thing to do. That's not a very Nintendo thing to do.
Remember,
if you bought...
I mean, we do have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
That's different.
How was that different?
Even that's not a straight port. That's not even a straight port. You remember whenever people were talking about how they wanted Nintendo to do a third DLC pack for Mario Kart 8? This is that pack.
That's like 4 DLC packs.
Development for Smash 4 has been done, and Sakurai hasn't started another game.
Yeah, he hasn't started another game.
They're not going to port. They're not porting Smash. Mario Kart 8 is an exception.
Well...
If you bought a Switch expecting to get Wii U ports, then you're gonna have a bad time.
No, if let's be clear to like all like the listeners and stuff. So when you buy like a video game console, buy a video game console because you want to play the games that are already out. Don't like hope for a game that will potentially come out in the future. I mean, I'm just speaking from my own experiences and my satisfaction with buying a console. My personal plan for buying like a system is, okay, there's got to be at least 5 games that are already out that I want to play, and I have to be personally okay with there never being another game released on that system before I buy the console itself. It might seem extreme, but that's the only way you'll never be dissatisfied with a console purchase.
But Amogh, I'm 99% sure they'll release a Metroid game on this thing. Metroid Prime 4.
Maybe.
Considering how Federation Force did, maybe.
There will be a new Metroid before there's a port of Smash 4.
I can agree with that.
There will not be a port of Smash 4.
And I just love how we keep getting off topic like this.
Well, when did you start getting on our Nintendo?
Guys say around November 2015, give or take. Not really sure how I joined. I think it was Link from r/Mario Maker. That was the reason I joined Reddit, for self-promotion. But, yeah, I mean, and then I became mod at the beginning of this year, and it's been
for sure.
Good time.
Oh, yeah, Brooks, I think you are actually, out of all the moderators here, you are the newest addition to the team.
Yeah, joining an already established group. I mean, been pretty good. Sometimes feels like kind of tough. Don't get doing it as much as you guys sometimes, but
hopefully not for too long. We're all pretty much friends, though. I mean,
except Train Ass, that guy, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are great.
Where is Matt? Is he still stuck in Hyrule? Oh my god.
What happened to that guy?
Now, we need to find him after this.
After this pod, let's go on an expedition. Gotta find him. I think actually Matt and me were both added as moderators at the same time a few years ago. I think back in 2014, I think. Yeah, either 2014 or 2015. 2014 definitely. We were added as moderators because originally the subreddit needed. There were very few mods at the time, and they needed people for help with E3 because this was right before the Smash 4 hype train on the Wii U. This was like the heyday E3 that was coming up for like the Wii U that like outlined everything, and then they showed the news and they showed like a little bit of the new Zelda, which eventually turned into Breath of the Wild. And yeah, I actually was on vacation during that E3, so I could not help out much at all. But they still, like Fire Princess and them, they all still were like, all right, this kid's cool, let's add him. But I think I've been moderating here the longest out of all the people on the podcast so far, and so yeah, with some of those experiences, like April Fool's 2015 with the Tingle theme, I remember I was on a spring break, and a few days before like April Fool's, someone said, "Oh man, we need an idea for April Fool's. We got to come up with something," and so then eventually someone suggested Tingle, and then we all were like, okay, and then it became crunch time, because obviously you're supposed to start planning these things like months in advance, because April Fool's is a big deal, and so I spent like 2 days and 2 nights just hard at work, coming up with or helping to come up with stuff, and eventually we made a sort of Nintendo Direct. It was Tingle Direct. It was, of course, extremely high quality stuff. It was only the best. Only the most quality Windows Movie Maker Live was used in the creation of that video, along with the world-renowned MS Paint program. A bunch of other stuff like last year's
The Mercedes Benz.
Oh yeah, the Mercedes Benz. That I actually am really happy that there's the Mercedes Benz in Mario Kart 8, because I'm finally able to drive my own Mercedes Benz.
In style, wink.
In style, of course.
And they're coming back in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, so
yeah.
the style won't stop.
Hey, if Mercedes-Benz wants to actually sponsor us, I'd be down for that. But until then, I'll settle driving my Mercedes-Benz in Mario Kart.
Mercedes-Benz, hit us up. We will show off your cars on the streets in style. It's complete. It's great advertising for you guys. Come on.
You actually remember that guy who posted on r/Nintendo about how he actually thought that the sub-theme, that you guys were shills?
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I remember that.
He was so angry until he realized, oh wait, it's just a joke.
Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? My friends all drive Porsches, I must make amends. Worked hard all my lifetime, no help from my friends. So oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz?
Now let's move on to our game of the week, which for this week is New Super Mario Bros. For the Nintendo DS, which was actually released more than 10 years ago, I think now. And so it's not quite new anymore, but I mean, it's still pretty cool. What are all of your thoughts on the game? Like how do you think it keeps up today?
It looks horrible, that's for one.
So, I think most DS games haven't really aged well. I think the game, in terms of quality, I think SNES or SNES and Game Boy Advance games definitely aged the best.
Yeah, New Super Mario Bros. Was released in 2006 for reference.
That's so crazy. That game feels like it came out like last year to me, and it was 10 years ago. So crazy to me. It's weird because they took some of Mario's 3D stuff and put it in that game. Like the way the blue shell works, it works like the Koopa shells in 64 do. And it's the first platformer where Mario's got that 64 agility and acrobats, like the back, like the wall kick. I think he can he hover in that game? He can do something.
No, I don't. Not in New Super Mario Bros. 1. He most definitely can a little bit in one of the newer New Super Mario Bros. Games, I think. It might maybe in
he could
Wii
do
U
it. Yeah, they could do it in
Luigi
Wii,
U.
where if you shook the Wiimote, you got the stall. But there was something else you could do. There's some. Was it a power up?
Maybe. Oh, actually, speaking of power-ups, I was actually New Super Mario Bros. Was like the first game I got with my Nintendo DS. It was actually bundled in with the DS, and I was actually kind of mad that there was no cape power-up, because when I was like really little, the cape power-up from Super Mario World was one of the most fun things ever. My brother and me used to go in and try seeing how many stages we could just completely skip over by using the cape. There are stages that I've still never seen because of that cape. And not New Super Mario Bros. In Super Mario World, and but yeah, New Super Mario Bros. It definitely those power ups. I don't know if there was like any sort of propeller power up in the game itself.
Was it a box that you could hold? There was something. Maybe, you know me, I could actually just be tripping.
Us having so much difficulty figuring this out is one of the biggest problems I have with the New Super Mario Bros. Series, and also one of the reasons why I think people say that Nintendo just makes a rehash of all their old games. 'Cause I don't remember there being many thoughts. I don't remember people saying that so much in the past. Before like all these New Super Mario Bros. Games, all of them were pretty decent games that all kind of just played the same.
Yeah, the physics aren't even the same.
The games definitely added a lot, and I think seeing the difference between New Super Mario Bros. For the Nintendo DS and New Super Mario Bros. U and Luigi U for the Wii U, you can definitely see how big of a difference there is. New Super Mario Bros. U is so much more polished. It's so much better, but all the stepping stones in between just didn't seem like big enough jumps. The Wii added four-player co-op, which makes sense because it was on the big screen instead of on the tiny handheld. But yeah, I think one of the things that they really should have brought back, I think, were the mini games from New Super Mario Bros., which I think I played almost as much as the actual game itself.
Yeah, fun fact about the mini games from the New Super Mario Bros. That were also in the 64 remake on the DS was that it's literally what they did with the Deluxe series with the Game Boy Advance. All those Mario games are just straight ports. Like what is it? Mario 1, 2, 3, and Yoshi's Island have the original arcade Mother Bros. And you could even link those up. Like the different cartridges were still compatible with each other.
That's what I like, the added value of the mini games. That's actually what I grew up playing, was Super Mario World on the Game Boy Advanced, and I spent a lot of time linking up with my sister playing the old arcade versions and seeing how far we could get in the arcade version of Mario.
Oh man, thank you Nintendo for adding download play. Wireless.
And while we're at it, rip download play, because the Switch does not have it. It won't.
Oh.
It never will. What game's going to do it?
The problem with download play nowadays is that the DSs were literally just downloading the data to the system to play the game. Hence the name download play. And it took a while, actually, sometimes for the games to connect.
Yeah, it did. It had a lot of startup.
And now it's going to be even... It's going to be insane.
Worse.
What kind of data. It's going to have to be a really simple game for it to make use of download play. Maybe if there's like a DS virtual console or something like that, there'll be download play, potentially.
You think they would let a virtual console game like that keep its communication tools? You think there'd be multiplayer? Because I think you're tripping.
Potentially. It's not out of the realms of possibilities, but I mean, considering they're adding online multiplayer later on for the Switch for the old virtual console games, I think Nintendo might potentially add download play to it, although that's at this point it's not in their best money making interest. So with the new Super Mario Bros., honestly, I thought there was too much of a... I'm really glad that Nintendo added the ability to play as Toad later on in the Wii version of the game and stuff like that while playing as multiplayer. I thought that was a really cool way to finally let people play as Toad. And that goes right into one of our subscriber questions, actually, by user named Not a Dwarf 9400. And his question was, which Mario game used Toads the best? Of course, that don't involve Captain Toad. And yeah, I think New Super Mario Bros. For the Wii and like Wii U, of course, used Toads pretty well. I don't know how New Super Mario Bros. 2 for the 3DS used it, but
Honestly, I don't think he's playable.
oh, okay. Then yeah, I guess the home console New Super Mario Bros. Games used Toad pretty well. Also, I think Super Mario Strikers used Toads pretty well, seeing as you can pick them as your team. Although I liked using the androids, and I like picking like the androids and completely wrecking my brother because he was way better than me at the game. But whenever I picked the androids, I had that leg up.
Well, I'm going to throw my hat in the ring and say it's either Luigi's Mansion, where that one Toad that's crying in the bathroom, you know, the one that he saves the game after you find him, like that's perfect. I mean, he's literally in the bathroom shivering, crying, and then you show up and he's like, "Oh wait, you're not Mario, but I'll save your game for you." I love that. And then in Mario Party 1, where I think it's the only time, or yeah, it might, or maybe Mario Party 2 too, but where Toad is the game host, if you will. Every Mario Party's got some kind of host, like the smiley face dice from 3, or the magical hat from, what is that, 8? In Mario Party 1, it's that Toad. And if you go into the Toad house in that game, it's got that one song. Embassy will play it right here, I'm sure. Have you heard it? It's burned into my mind. I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
So my answer is actually going to be Mario Party 4 because he's the host for that. I've never played the N64 Mario parties, but they don't look like they've aged well. But Mario Party 4, Toad is the host, and it's the one game that I find Toad to be an acceptable use of a main character, because he's actually kind of helpful instead of being annoying and a thrown-in side character. You guys have played Super Mario Sunshine, right? The Toads in that game are a major hindrance to Mario.
Oh yeah, I actually have not really experienced Super Mario Sunshine that much. That's on my to-do list, but could you go into or more into detail about like what the Toads did that were such a hindrance?
It wasn't so much that they were a bad character, but they didn't do a whole lot to you. They kind of stood there and would get stuck in situations. And if I remember, and I could be misremembering some of this, but they're just the character that sits there and they get stuck and you have to save them. So over time, you get annoyed at the Toad because he can't do anything but get stuck.
I think that's the only game where Toad's like actually garbage, because every other appearance of Toad's like pretty straight. He's playable in 2, in 3 that's the one where he's the 3 treasure box, and he's got the. I used to be able to quote it word for word about you get one to help you on your way, and then in World, non-existent, and then in 64, he opens doors like. And he gives you 3 stars. There's 3 Toads that give you stars in that game. And in Sunshine, they're worthless. And in Galaxy, the Toad Squad helps you. They don't even help you. They like outright go and get stars. They also get stuck though because they're not good at it. But it's the thought that counts. Same thing in Luigi. Luigi does the same exact thing.
The Toad Squad tries. Yeah, the Toad Squad definitely in like Mario Galaxy was honestly really fun. It was, I think, the Toad Squad in Mario Galaxy was the first experience that I've had in a game where you just send off some dudes to go and gather up something for you, so you don't have to play them, so you don't have to like grab it yourself. I always liked how the Toads were really colored. How there were multiple colored Toads. Most of the time it was the red Toad, like the regular red Toad, of course. But sometimes, like in the new Super Mario console game or home console games, you had like the blue and the yellow Toad, and I always like seeing all these differently colored versions of the same character, like in Kirby, actually, in The Amazing Mirror, which is the most recent Kirby game.
The best one. That's the best one.
Yeah, it's a great game. My favorite's actually Squeak Squad. It was super easy, but I mean, it was the first Kirby game I completed, and actually probably the first Kirby game I ever played.
I'm gonna say
to be
you played Amazing Mirror and you didn't complete it. Hello.
Well, I'm still working through it right now. I got it for the ambassador program, but I just got put on the back burner after some time. But that goes right into our next subscriber question by All Seeing Goggles, and yeah, the question was, what's your favorite Kirby copy abilities?
Me first, because maybe you guys are gonna say it too. It's the Smash Power from Amazing Mirror, because in that game, Amazing Mirror is a Metroidvania, and just like in any other Metroid game, all your progress is hindered based on what power-ups you have access to. But in typical Kirby fashion, your power-ups are enemies you can take, and then like you need to, for example, there's some pegs you can need to use the hammer or stone to push into the ground, and if you don't have either, then you can't do it. Except for around those areas, there aren't any stone or hammers, so you need to go to an area where there is one, and then take that power all the way to that spot and use it. The reason Smash is so good is because it's got like 4 powers in one. That can get like it's got cut, it's got stone, hammer.
Yeah, fighter, because regular B I think uses a fighter.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Moves.
And he doesn't get the Hadouken thing or the fireball.
No, I don't think he has the the Hadouken fireball thing in his Smash form, because that's not in the regular Kirby game, or that's not in Kirby's abilities in Smash.
But burning was in Melee though. It was his dash attack.
Oh, true. Yeah, Kirby. Honestly, that's one of the problems, or people today consider that sort of backtracking thing with Kirby's Amazing Mirror and things like that in modern games to be a hindrance to games, where you need to go to a really far different area to grab like exactly what you need to come back to this one area. But it's that's something.
It's okay in Amazing Mirror because you can call the other Kirbys with the Kirby phone.
Yeah, you can call other Kirbys with the Kirby phone who potentially have that ability on them. Actually,
I love that game. I think I need to play that game right now. Actually,
yeah, it's such a good game. And
when I played it, my cousins had it, so we played through it together with the link cables. And that, I'm telling you, that was the best time of my life. I don't think I've thoroughly enjoyed a game like that in a while, at the very least.
I really like that link cable. I usually mostly use it with Pokemon, but I'm glad they dropped it in favor of wireless. No more extra wires. Although I carry around a power bank plus my charging cable now all the time, so I guess joke's on me. Yeah, you know what else is what other ability I thought was pretty OP, although it's one of my favorites, the UFO ability. I think
which game though?
The UFO ability is recurring. The earliest game I guess that I saw it in was, I think, Amazing Mirror, I think. And then
it's in that
one. And
I think that's the best. I think it's the best use of it too. That's another one where it's got like 8 powers on it.
Yeah, I think I used it more in Squeak Squad though, which has my other favorite ability, which is the jump ability. Okay, there's
high jump is worthless. Are you kidding me?
It's not because of its utility or anything like that. The literal only reason why I like that high jump ability was because Kirby looked cool while having that ability, and there's this one stage in Squeak Squad where you could just jump really high and fall back down, jump really high again, fall back down. I was very easily entertained when I was
I see
younger.
that.
So I've played 2 Kirby games, and one of them, Kirby Superstar Deluxe. I'm gonna give 2 answers here. The first one is Kirby Superstar Deluxe, the mirror ability. I was fairly young when I started to play this game, so I actually don't know what a good ability is in that game. I just used the mirror to beat it. That being said, I'm gonna cheat a bit here and say that the actual best ability is from City Trial and Kirby Air Ride. If you were to get the sword ability, the funnest thing to do was hunt down everybody else and make them and destroy their cart. That's the best ability, is City Trial sword, hunting down other people.
you should know. DDD, he's the king of the show. You'll holler and hoot, he'll give Kermit a boot. DDD is the one. DD is the one. Coming at ya. Yeah.
Now, actually, let's go into our AMAs. Back in January, when we added, or along with Brooks, we added a few other moderators, and one of them, Bosch Jalka, I think. Yeah, he has been hard at work. He is very good about grabbing us different AMAs. One of the ones that we've had, Yacht Club Games, the creators of Shovel Knight, they came in and had an AMA, so people got to go in and ask them questions, and I actually asked them one question, what their favorite music was, because I think that the Shovel Knight music was I think it was amazing. It was some of the best music I had ever listened to in a video game. For the next few months after beating Shovel Knight, I just had the soundtrack going all the time while I was working, whatever. The person who answered, I forgot who it was, said, "Oh yeah, we were all kind of sick of listening to that music because of how much we had listened to it, because most of the time it just meant that we had to go into a stage and figure out some bugs to fix and things like that." I thought it was pretty cool getting to listen to getting my question answered.
The question I asked them was about the Shovel Knight amiibo. I was curious how they got Nintendo to let them call it an amiibo, and some kind of alternate pose or any problems they had encountered that they didn't expect they'd run into when designing the thing. And I didn't really get a fun answer. Just apparently Miyamoto didn't like a lot of their designs, and that they had a lot of alternate poses, but in the end they went with something that wouldn't break from the base. So that's why it looks kind of boring. But it also looks in line with the other amiibo series. So
we had a few other AMAs as well from V-Blank Entertainment, and also V-Blank Entertainment was the creator of Shakedown Hawaii and Retro City Rampage, which was a pretty fun game. You should go and check it out. And also Jordan White, who is the founder of Street Pass NYC. Alright, that about wraps it up here. Thanks everyone for listening in. Don't forget to tune in to our next episode on April 1st, or the 1st of April for all those outside of the USA, where we'll be having a special episode focused on the rumored Melee HD. Hopefully we find Matt by then.
Guys, I've been here the whole time. I've just been playing Zelda. Guys?
Did you guys hear something? Must have just been the wind. Well, anyway, we'll also be discussing the question that's been asked since the dawn of video games. Is Nintendo doomed? Some of our sources have indicated that they are. We'll discuss the events leading up to their downfall soon. Now, if you'll excuse us, we need to find Matt.
Hey, are we recording? I got some things I need to do. The Mass Effect Andromeda demo just dropped, and I want to get some multiplayer time in before the time runs out. Guys? Where did everyone go? What? Great! They locked me in!